Welcome to the Second International Forum on Taijiquan. I am Sifu Bryant Fong. I'm from the UC Martial Arts Department at UC Berkeley. I teach currently Wushu and Tai Chi for the university. We have of course, a national Wushu champion team, 11 times national champion. And I'm also teaching now Tai Chi for wellness and health. And I think that's really important. The current UC, how should I say, catchphrase or thing that they're doing on campus is exactly that, health and wellness. And so I'm here to talk about Tai Chi for health and wellness and the kind of bridge, if you like, Western and Asian or Chinese understanding of that art. So I think a couple of things that people should realize. In order to promote and develop Tai Chi in foreign countries, we need to begin to use a language that they can understand. Okay, so the terms for what we're talking about are important. The images that we use are also important. And keeping in mind that Taijiquan is, of course, uniquely Chinese culture. Okay, so many cultures will not understand the references we use, even the language and also what we're referring to may not make any sense to them. So we need to begin to figure out how to bridge the gap between Asian and Western culture, because Taijiquan is a uniquely part of Chinese culture, and we need to begin to explore that. But also doing that will also do what? Allow us to make the bridge from Tai Chi as exercise, Tai Chi as medicine, and then from medicine to include what? Other modalities that Chinese medicine are about. And I think that's the most important part, is that Chinese medicine has so much to offer to. How do we begin to get people familiar with it? Taijiquan is one particular way. And as I explained to many of my students, Taijiquan, Tai Chi Qigong, is an important way to maintain your health. When you can no longer maintain your health, then you need to seek, how should I say, herbs, tuina, anmo. You need to seek acupuncture. Okay, so all these things flow from an understanding of Tai Chi. So learning to understand what Tai Chi is really important. So there are a couple of things I do want to mention. So first, we need to explain what are the principles of Tai Chi so people can understand it. It's not just soft, it's not just slow, it's not without force. All these things that people think it is not. And we need to kind of explain that. Why is it Tai Chi yin and yang? It's a balance between hard and soft, slow and fast, open and closed, yin and yang, internal and external. It is a balance of all those things that makes it Tai Chi. So, just going slow doesn't mean you're doing Tai Chi. Just because you're meditating, you're not just doing Tai Chi. Just because I'm learning a sword form does not mean I'm doing Tai Chi. Okay, so Tai Chi for health is a whole different animal, and we need to kind of examine that in great detail so that it will make it easier to promote, easier for people to understand. Tai Chi should be practiced with a goal in mind rather than just practicing Quan or form. And my teacher, Grandmaster Feng, used to make a distinction between practicing Quan and practicing Gong. Okay? Quan was actually meant for combat. Gong is for health. And so we have to kind of, how should I say, change our perspective on what we're trying to teach to the general public. Quan, or the form, was originally meant to be a way of learning and categorizing techniques in your style so you could use them for combat. Learning how to link them together so you could use them. But it was not designed to be a health form. Okay? What do I mean by a health form? Well, first of all, the health form has to be easy to learn. Okay? If you forget it, then that's not going to help the patient. Okay? That's number one. Number two, it has to be effective, meaning they practice it, I feel better after I do it. Okay? Number three, it has to do no harm, and that's kind of important. If you look at a Chen form, for instance, which has all its complicating twistings and turnings, it will not benefit someone who has arthritis. Twisting and turning the joints will tend to what? Inflame the joints, make the patient feel even worse. Okay, so that's one problem. If they have knee problems, Yang style Tai Chi may also not work because the moving back and forth will generally impact the knees and again cause inflammation. So you have to think about what movements that people can practice using the Tai Chi principles that will benefit their health and yet not make their situation worse. And then Grandmaster Feng, he used to have one other requirement. It had to look beautiful. Okay, so well, that's up to you. You can decide whether it's beautiful or not. But anyway, so those are some of the requirements for healthy practice of Tai Chi. Keep in mind, those are the goals or those are requirements that are set by the CDC of the United States. That's the Center for Disease Control. In order for any type of modality to be accepted as being good for person's health, it must meet those requirements. Again, it must be easy to learn, it must be evidence-based, it must be effective. Okay? And as I said, Grandmaster Feng included, also it's got to look beautiful. Okay, people got to enjoy it. So that's some of the important parts of it. So my discussion is going to also focus on one other thing. Routines are not necessarily the way to go to teach Tai Chi for health. In fact, if you go back to the past, in the ancient times, the practice of Tai Chi and Chinese martial arts was concentrated in one form practice, what we call Dan Shi, or the single form practice. Meaning you practice the form, the movement, to learn how to make the connection, how to make the energy flow. Okay, so those are some of the things that we need to concentrate on. The other thing we need to think about is, how does Tai Chi work effectively? So some concepts to kind of understand that are important that have recently come to mind. One, we must make use of the concept of using the third heart or second heart, right? Meaning what? Your legs. The legs have to be an integral part of your practice, okay? Rather than just either teaching a form or having someone stand there. Again, standing there can be effective, but it can be very boring and people don't see the result, okay, other than I get really tired. So, but incorporating the legs in your movement is important. So for instance, you can just move your arm, but if I move my whole body, the body is sinking, the body is rising, the sinking, the contraction, the compression helps to accelerate the chi. My legs get a workout. I also what? Move the blood from my feet back to my heart. Very important concepts for Westerners to understand. Otherwise they'll go, what does Tai Chi do? How does it work? Okay, so these things are important for everyone to understand. The other thing is loose or soft or smooth. Why is that important? So that I can stretch the body out. So stretching, good posture, these things are all key to doing good Tai Chi, but also getting your body into a condition that the energy can actually flow smoothly, your blood can move smoothly. So rather than concentrating on one style or one routine, we need to look at Tai Chi as a whole, select things that work best. So I'm just going to make some suggestions, and then you can, I can talk more about it during the workshop, so when you actually do it. But the whole point is, for instance, Chen style Tai Chi has spiraling Qigong, or the Chansu Gong. So that can be one way of accelerating the Qi, loosening the joints. So actually quite good. Another way that we can, it also does what? It also loosens the body, makes sense to Westerners because they're used to those kind of exercise, but we can show them how we can make the exercise they do now more effective and actually improve the health of the entire body. Because Tai Chi is holistic movement rather than single movement of a single part of the body. Okay, so that's, I think, very key to understanding Tai Chi, and also for making people more interested in following up on what is it all about. Another thing is trying to develop images that they can understand. So for instance, if you're just standing here, there's no image. People are not going to find that very interesting and not very useful in terms of their daily practice. So what I try and do is teach things that have images. So for instance, if we're drawing qi, right, I think of, capturing a butterfly, drawing it to me. That is using the traditional Chinese Taijiquan from Chen style, but it also begins to activate the mind, so they understand that, my mind has to have this image so that the qi can also move. So this way we can incorporate the mental aspect, physical aspect, with an understanding of what my body is doing at the same time. So I think those are some of the important things to think about in terms of promoting Tai Chi to a Western audience. They need to have things that they can grasp and understand. Another important concept, I think, that recently came up is the importance of the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve connects the brain to your gut. The reason, like Chinese say, stick your tongue at the roof of your mouth and you feel the saliva, what is that all about? And it turns out that Western science has found that the reason the saliva gathers at the back of your mouth is because your mental, relaxation in your mind allows you to connect through that nerve to your gut, causing saliva to occur in the mouth. And so these are one way for a person learning Tai Chi to kind of understand, what is the tongue touching and the roof of the mouth all about? It's about your mental connection to your physical body. And so there are actual ways that we can explain Tai Chi in a Western way so that people can understand the importance of what we do. So anyway, I hope you kind of enjoyed that short summary of what we're going to be doing. We will be doing some active things to demonstrate how to teach that. And again, it's not about any one particular style. Every style has something to offer. One of the main components we will be doing is Sun style Tai Chi, and I'll talk about more why. But Sun style Tai Chi is one of the styles most able to be promoted because anyone, literally, in any form, any shape, can perform Sun style Tai Chi. It is not true for any of the styles, number one. Number two, it is the only style recognized in the United States by the CDC as being able to either cure or help people who have arthritis. Okay, so that is one of the recent developments, actually within the last 10 years, that CDC has actually actively recognized Chinese martial arts, in particular Sun style Tai Chi. Okay, anyway, thank you very much, and I hope to see you later, and if you have questions, feel free to ask. Thank you very much.